Okay, I promised I was going to show you a good reason to learn some basic object-oriented code. So I'll share this file with you as well, and I've got a few activities. The bottom one's a little advanced, but it could be fun to figure out how to use a loop to create a whole bunch of different objects. So here, this is my main file, and over here I have a class, and I've called it Bubble. And my class name, and this is adapted from Daniel Schiffman's code, so I have to credit him, which you always do if you take somebody else's code. So I created a class. I think I changed his. I didn't like his bubble, so I made it my bubble. So he's got a class and he's named it Bubble, and you can see here it goes all the way down and it ends here. All right. Inside here we have our constructor. So this is this first part, and we have to have that there. It brings our object into existence. And then down underneath, we can have whatever functions we want to create for our object. So here's a move function, and then we have a display function. And that's quite common in objects. You'll have very often those two functions are there. Okay, so let's go back and let's see. Right now I'm not accepting any parameters in move or draw. That's one of my challenges for you, to change the code so it does accept a parameter here, or a value. But I am passing some values up here. I'm going to be passing a float, which I'm calling temp r, and it sets a radius. And then I'm setting a float, which I'm calling r num. And what does r num do? What does r num do? Oh, it sets a speed. That stands for random number. There we go. Makes that a little clearer. Right, and this is incrementing our x and y, and this is our conditional down here that's checking, and if it hits the edge of the stage, it's going to reverse it, which we've done before. And look at my code here. At the top, I've declared my bubble object. So I said bubble, and notice this is bubble with the capital B, because that's the name of our class. I don't know why it's not capitalized in my tab. It should be. And then same thing here. I've called it bubble 1, bubble 2, bubble 3. You could call it anything you want, but this part always has to be named bubble because that's your data type. And then I've got a setup, and I gave myself a little note here. Each bubble I'm making a new version of my bubble, and then I'm giving it a diameter and a, what is that? That is the random number for speed. All right. So I've set these three up, and then I'm drawing a background of white, and then I'm moving the first one, second one, third one, and displaying the first one, second one, third one. So let's see what this does. Yay! So each one of these circles around here that's doing its thing over there is being created with this code. And over here, I'm just calling it. So you can write your object once, and it can be kind of complex, but then you just call it here, and that's much simpler. Now let's do, just for fun, I'm going to turn the background off. Yeah, because that's fun. That is very fun. I'm tempted to show you a little trick to make this even cooler with the transparency, but we'll get into that with our next tutorial. I am mesmerized by this. All right, that is too much fun. All right, so hopefully you see by the fact that here you can have this class. This one's, I could add a lot to this and make it much more complicated and really cool. But once you've got that written, you can use it again and again and again. All right, so I've got some activities down here. The last one's kind of advanced to see if you could, use a loop to create a whole bunch of bubbles. So play with it. Obviously reach out to me if you're struggling with it, and we'll figure it out. Alrighty.